Let's see here. Let's wait for a few people to get in here before I start this Friday night live. In the meantime, in between time, let's see what we got on these notes here. I'd be happy. That's something I got to deal with, or I got to speak about for sure. We can't figure this on. All right. It's Friday night. We're doing a Friday night live. Scotty J, what's up, man? Corey Ferguson, what's happening, man? Yeah, welcome to my Friday night live. I'm just gonna take questions and callers. If you want to call in, the number's at the bottom of the screen. But if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button and share this video. It's a live. You can still share it. My super chat's on, my cash app's up there, my phone number's up there. If you guys want to call in and have any questions, you want to give a shout out, I'm open to all that. And I'm open for discussion about any and everything tonight. It's Friday night. I didn't have nothing to do. The streets are cold. I didn't want to be out there in them streets. As you guys know, I don't go out and party no more, so I'm usually home. So if you guys want to call in, go ahead and call in. But please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. Yesterday, I had a guy on here that I've been knowing a long time. Coach Freddie he likes to be called nowadays. I know him by Freddie Loco. He's from Seaside. We had a pretty deep discussion. I haven't called him back. I'm supposed to be calling him tomorrow. I'm supposed to be talking about a few things and discussing when he's going to get on here again. Because I got a lot of feedback, a lot of text messages, and a lot of comments. So I am going to bring him on here again. Let me see what's up with this private chat. No, we won't put the private chat up. Put this comments up. Yeah, Corey, you've been with me from the beginning, man. You want to call in? You can call in. I'll put you on my live with me, man. If you want to even come on here with me, I'll send you a link if you want to come on here and be my guest, be my co-host. If you want to do that, Corey, because you've been with me since the beginning, man. And I don't know too much about you, just your comments you make and stuff. But I like to know who you are. I kind of know who you are and where you're from now. But if you want to call in, you can call in. There's a couple things that I wanted to discuss that's happening in my life right now. So I have a tree business, Pro Tree Cutters. I've been doing it for 3 years now, a little over 3 years now. It usually, my busy season is right now. This is my busy season usually, but this year has been pretty slow. And so I started another business that I haven't started it. I've been putting this together for probably about 10 months now. I dipped and dabbed in it last year. I don't want to discuss what it is, but I did. So I took a loss. So I'm trying to put that back together now. And it's been kind of hard because I'm so used to, during COVID was the best thing that happened to me. Not catching COVID, but when that COVID thing hit, my business flourished. It's like it took off because I guess a lot of people was telling me this in the tree business that a lot of people was at home during COVID and they was probably in their backyards or their front yards looking at their ugly ass trees. So I was getting a lot of business to go cut down their trees or trim their trees or whatnot. So I did have a lot of business in 2019, 2020, and even last year. This year's been pretty slow. So I got more time to focus on this YouTube. I did take a couple months off because I was going through some personal issues, but I'm back now. Did you ever know any of them black market record cats? I was bumping the hell out of them back in the day, all the way here in Kentucky. Scotty. So yeah, I've been knowing Cedric Singleton for 20 plus years. He owned Black Market Records, and he was like, they was like my competition a little bit. X-Rated was signed to them, Triple Beam was signed to them, Brother Lynch was signed to them. So I'm very familiar. I did business with Black Market Records. I had went out on my own from AWOL Records, and me and my cousin started Count Time Records, and I put out a solo album by Young Joker. It was called Something Major, and it went gold actually. But soon as I put his album out, I had to go turn myself in for a 5-year sentence, and that was back in 2000. So what I did was I went to Black Market Records, and back then we used to sell hard copies, CDs and tapes. And I just got all these CDs and tapes pressed up. And I forgot how many we had pressed up. We went to Rainbow, down south to Bakersfield. It was I think we went to, it was not Anaheim. I think it might have been LA. And we had all these albums pressed up. But I had to go turn myself in for a 5-year, 8-month sentence. I had a drug case then. I sold a cop some drugs. And so what I did was I knew Cedric Singleton from being in the industry in Sacramento. So I went to Cedric Singleton and I gave him all this U-Haul truck full of hard copies of Something Major. And it was my first solo album that I put out without AWOL Records, because I've been with AWOL for a long time up until this point. So we pressed up this album, we produced this album, and I left it with Cedric Singleton. And the deal we made was we was going to split it 70-30, me getting the 70, him getting the 30, and then I paid Joker off of each one. Well, at the time I was married, and now looking back, I made a lot of mistakes actually. So the deal I made with him was every month as he sold these units, my now ex-wife would go up there and get a check. And I think he gave me 2 or 3 checks, and then, he was foul. He tried to get at my ex-wife. And so me and him got into it over the phone. When I came home, I ran into him. He gave me some money, didn't pay me for it also. Yeah, I knew Black Market real well. I knew Cedric Singleton. I know all his staff up there too. So yeah, I knew Black Market. You're from Kentucky, Scotty J? Let me see, who is this? Business just got really slow for me. I run a moving company, but had to sell my truck recently. Hey, Sean. Yeah, I know a couple people in the moving business, man. What area are you from? You from California? You from California? Excuse me. I know one of my actually one of my workers that cut trees for me now. He was working for a trucking company for a long time. And he still does it on the side, but he works for me now. But there's a lot of money in the trucking, in the moving business. If you own a moving company and you got a truck, you can make a lot of money in California, anywhere, because they pay you top dollars to move their whole houses. A lot of people from California is moving to Texas, moving to Washington. And I know you get a lot of money if you got a moving company, man. You must not be from California. You must be from the Midwest or someplace. Oh, you from Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, is that right? Boston. So not to get into details, but the new business that I was starting, I was dealing with some cats out of Boston, Massachusetts, and it ended up going all bad. Me and my friend took a loss on that. And we're trying to Well, I'm trying to put it back together now, not in Boston, but I'm trying to deal with Texas right now on this new business venture I have going up right now. So hopefully that'll come to flourish very soon. Um, that's one of the reasons why I haven't been on YouTube in the last couple of months is because I've been really busy trying to focus on this second business I was putting together. And I made a couple mistakes, trusting people I shouldn't have trusted, and it went pretty bad, man. Um, I lost a lot of capital, um, and I lost a whole crew of people that I was employing. Um, it was a family that I was employing. I had them working for me for like probably almost 2.5 years, building up to this, and he took his whole family back to Mexico. So I am looking for a couple people, but I don't want to talk about it online like that. If you guys are interested in knowing what I'm talking about, you can hit my line after this live's over. If you want to talk now about anything else, we could talk. Marketing payroll killed my business, man. Hey, Sean, yeah, man. Marketing. If you're not marketing your business right, so my tree company, it was very low overhead. It's very low overhead now. I don't have I don't pay for no marketing. I use Marketplace, OfferUp, and things like that. But I know marketing, if you want your business to flourish, you have to put a lot of money into marketing if you're a retailer, or if you're doing services like a moving company. I would assume you would have to market that a lot. And marketing takes a lot of capital, man. People don't know how important commercials, magazines, internet marketing, it's very costly. And I know about marketing because I used to do marketing when I was in the music industry. And if you don't have the right marketing, you're not going to make the sales. If you want to lock them sales down, you have to put a lot of money into marketing, a lot of time too, man. I wish you luck, Sean. Are you from California, man? Or what? Oh no, you're from Massachusetts. Was you moving cross country or locally? Your moving company, did you move people just locally or cross country? Because I know there's a lot of money in moving people cross country. Like I said, I got a worker that's doing that now on the side. He's been doing it before he was cutting trees. I trained him to cut trees, and now he's making money cutting trees. Oh shoot, what was this? Oh, that's no one important right now. So yeah, man. Hey, Sean. I don't know if you know or ever been to California, but like I said, there is a significant amount of people moving out of California to different states because the economy is real bad in California right now. You know, the taxes are ridiculous out here. A lot of people are going to Oregon because they don't have no state tax, sales tax. And a lot of people I know are moving to Texas. Like a lot of people in California, Californians are moving to Texas right now. And I was thinking about moving to Dallas myself. You was doing mainly local, but some cross country. I was about to move someone to Alameda, California, but deal fell through. Yeah, you would have made a pretty penny moving someone from Massachusetts to California. That's a hell of a trip. What do you charge, by the mileage or by the load? What would you say the percentage of white dudes that run with black homies in Cali? The percentage? Are you talking about on the street or in prison? Because there's a difference. On the street in Northern California, see, if you're not from California, I know a lot of people not from California, they think of LA when you think of California. And I'm from Northern California. Sacramento is real close to the Bay Area. And there's a lot of white dudes in Northern California that run with black guys. In Southern California, not so much, not hardly at all. Whites run with Mexicans in Southern California, but in Northern California, Mexicans run with blacks, and there's a lot of white guys that do run with oh, hey Scotty. So yeah, in we don't call it DOC, we call it CDC. But in CDC, now in the 2000s, when I left, there's not a significant amount of white dudes that run with blacks, but there is some. There's a handful, and I'm gonna tell you something. The white dudes in the California prison system that do run with blacks, they can't be no soft cats. You know what I mean? A lot of races look down on that, so they got an uphill battle. I had a guy on here, Super Cuz, Rob. I call him Rob Loco. And I've been knowing Rob Super Cuz since 1990, I want to say 92 or 93. And we was at a place called DVI. And back in the 80s and 90s, even the 70s, DVI was, even the cops used to call it Gladiator School because they sent all the young gang members to DVI Tracy. And I met Rob there. And when I seen Rob for the first time, so I went to prison in '89, and as you can tell, I'm not black, but I used to run with a black gang, Crips, 29th Street Crips. So I was one of the first non-black Crips to hit California prison system in 1989. I know there's I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels, and they have a few white guys on here that run Crip in California prison system. But I think they came in later in the 90s, like the late 90s or maybe mid 90s. But besides Samoans, I was the first non-black Crip to hit California prison system in 1989. And it was difficult at first, but I already was in YA. I went from CYA, California Youth Authority, to the prison system. So I already started building a name for myself in California Youth Authority. By the time I hit prison, everything changed. It was more respect. In CY, it was more just fighting. It was a lot of fighting and a lot of violence in CY. But when I hit California prison system, you know, I got a lot of uncles and cousins that are Northerners. What I mean by Northerners are Norteños. And they approached me when I hit California prison system in '89. And they told me, you know, your family's this, your family's Norteños, you should be a Northerner. But to me, for me to be a Crip from a very young age, 13 years old, and then being 19, 20 years old and changing what I thought was the right thing would be something of cowardice to me. It would be a mark move for me to go from a Crip, being a Crip all my youth, and then hitting California prison system and becoming a Norteño. That's like mark shit. And I just wasn't going to do it. And I never switched. I never claimed anything but Crip. And I do got a family member that used to be a Crip, and he changed. He went to be a Northerner at a young age, though. And why he changed. And to me, I just wasn't going to do that. It was something that I felt very strongly about at the time. I still feel strongly about it. That's like, to me, that's like you being either a South Sider, a Sereno, and then changing up being a Northerner, or being a Blood and then changing up to be a Crip. That's where that sits with me. That's the category it sits with me. And to me, that's mark shit. I never even thought about that. But I did. I had a lot of in-house fights because of that. A lot of political shit went on because of that. But after I got out in 1990, I went back in 91, got out in 92, went back in 93. By the time I went back my third time, I had no problems at all. No one approached me and no problems at all. I just ran with who I ran with. But yeah, there is a handful of white cats that run. Why are you white, bro? Hey, Sean, are you white? For cross country, it was mileage, fuel, and pound. Minimum to Cali is around 10K. Yeah, I believe that. And that'll probably take you from Boston, that'll probably take you up and back probably 4 days, maybe 5 days. $10,000, that's $2,000 a day plus your gas. In your sleeping arrangements, your hotel, you would probably make what 7,500 off of that. That's pretty good money for 4 or 5 days work. Excuse me. You ever thought about moving your company to California, bro? There's a lot of money out here in moving. Where is let me see something right now. Oh, you're black? Oh, you just want to know how many white guys ran with blacks in the pen? Hey, Corey, you still there, man? What's up, Scotty J? You still with me? I'm black. Yeah, I'm white, but I ain't never thought about who I would run with if I lived in Cali. Have you ever been to prison, Scotty? If you ain't never been to prison, you shouldn't even be asking questions like that, bro. I'm trying to keep people from going to prison or going back to prison, man. It's no life in any prison in any state. Like, I've been to prison in 2 states. I've been to prison here in California, and I've been to prison in the state of Washington. I went to prison out there for 4 bank. Well, actually, I beat my 4 bank robberies. I went to prison in Washington from Olympia, Washington. In 2005, me and my girl caught 4 bank robberies, and I went to prison out there because of that case. They dismissed the bank robberies, but I got convicted of identity theft, ex-felon with a gun, and transportation and sales of narcotics across 2 state lines. So the prison system in different states are different. I remember when I went to prison out in Washington, it was like I couldn't believe the difference between the prison system in California and the prison system in Washington. In Washington, it was unbelievable. When I got to Washington prison, I went to Stafford Creek. Yeah, Stafford Creek. That's the prison I went to at first. Not the reception. I'm talking about the regular prison. When I got there, when I first got to that prison, they hand you this bag of brand new khakis. They're khaki clothes. Brand new with your CDC number on it. Then they hand you a TV. You don't got to buy a TV. They hand you a TV, and they hand you a key to your cell. And the key's about 6 inches long, and it's brass. And when I got there and they handed me all this stuff, I thought, this has got to be Disneyland. They got to be kidding me, handing me this piece of metal and handing me a TV. And they feed you so good. And they still had weights up there too. This is 2005. No, I went to prison in 2006 up there. Fought my case for 1.5 years from the county jail. Almost 2 years, matter of fact. So when I got there and I went to a medium, they got low, medium, and maximum out there. I went to a medium at first. I ended up in Walla Walla, which is their max. But when I got to Washington prison system, the way they feed you up there is ridiculous. It's like you go through the chow hall. Okay, so in California, you get breakfast 6, 7 in the morning, and when you leave the chow hall breakfast, they hand you a bag lunch, and they got a sandwich, maybe chips, and some carrot sticks or something. Then you go to dinner. In Washington, you go to breakfast. This ain't no bullshit. They got pancakes, they got eggs, they got sausage, they got bacon, they got toast, they got everything you could think of, and they don't just put on your tray. You tell them what you want, and I swear to you, if you're not full, you can get back in line and go through again. Now, this is in 2006, so it might be different now, but back then they feed you, and then you get a hot lunch at lunchtime, and it's a sandwich, soup, piece of fruit and a cookie. Then dinner time's ridiculous too. And they got a juice bar and a salad bar there. I know you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy saying this, but ask anybody from the state of Washington about their food, man. It's ridiculously good. I never thought about for cross country it was. Oh shit, I see your picture, Sean. Sorry about that, homie. You're a light-skinned brother, huh? Okay, my bad. I thought you was white. And I got you confused with Scotty asking me them questions. I got you both confused, man. I didn't put your I'm not putting your guys' comments up on my screen. I'll just answer them as they come, because if I put them up on my screen, let me see. I think it takes down. Oh, no, it don't. I thought it took down my ticker. I could put all your guys' comments up. What would you say the percent? I already answered that question, Scotty. But yeah, man, the prison system in Washington is way more relaxed, lenient out there than in California, I think. And I've never been to New York, Rikers Island, or none of that, Attica, Chicago's prison system, but I've heard they're pretty violent. But from what I've heard, I think California is the most violent prison system in the United States. And maybe I possibly could be wrong, but you got to think California is where gang banging began in the 60s. So for California to be the hub and where gang banging birthed, and then you got people that's been gang banging all their life, it really gets pretty messy inside California prison system, man. Let me post this. Scotty J, were you ever locked up anywhere with X-rated back in the day? I was. I was locked up with X-rated in the county jail 2 or 3 times because he was there 5 years fighting this case at our county jail, Sacramento County. Then I was locked up with him in DVI, which is our reception center. Him and Sibo with cellies, and I used to go there cell all the time. I was on the main line. They was on the reception center side, and then I was at the same prison as him in 2015 or 14. He was at Donovan. However, we was on different yards. He was on a level 4, I believe 270 yard, and I was on a level 3, 270 design yard. But he was in the same prison as me. I never seen him there, but I used to talk to him on the phone, and we used to write each other letters through the law library. But I talked to X-Rated now that we're both home. I went to where was it? I think Santa Rosa to his concert. I took my son to meet him, and my son really wanted to meet him. And matter of fact, 2 years ago, I took a trip to Atlanta, Georgia. And the person I took with me to Atlanta, Georgia, that's when COVID just hit. Got COVID on the layover in Las Vegas. So I had to leave her in Las Vegas, and X-Rated went to the airport, picked her up, and took her to his house while she got over. Or I think he took her to a hotel, and then, of course, put her on a plane and got her to me to Atlanta. So, yeah, me and X-Rated been friends since he was like young, 15 years old, man. I've been knowing Honore for a long time. He's out here doing very good for himself right now. And you know what? I'm glad you brought X-Rated up. As you guys know, I was involved with producing Sibo's albums, his first albums. My play brother, T, was the owner of AWOL Records. I just used to, help him a lot with AWOL Records. I was involved in that label for probably like 7 years. And I've been knowing Sibo before the rap shit. I've been knowing Sibo since he was a kid. His mom and my mom lived across the street from each other. And my younger brother, Nick, was best friends with him since they was like, I think I want to say 7 years old, 8 years old. So I watched Sibo grow up. I know him as Sean. And I watched him grow up. But bringing up X-Rated, you know, him and Sibo and X-Rated used to be really tight because you know we all come from the same neighborhood, but I think they had their differences in the last few years, and you know they wasn't talking since they both been home. But now, um, I just got wind that they are talking again, and that's a great thing, man. You know, when two talented people as talented as Sibo and X-Rated communicate, only good things could happen from that. They're both in the music industry. They're both tight as fuck. Um, and for them, you know, X-Rated wrote a lot of Sibo songs. I think he wrote Deadly Game. He wrote Swing Batter Batter Swing. He wrote Mr. Trey 57. So he wrote a lot of Sibo songs on that one album. I think One Life to, no, not One Life to Live. I forgot the name of the album. But for them to be talking again, um, it can only bring good things, man. You know, they're both older now. I'm not in the music industry at all no more. Um, I'm in the I'm an author now. I'm in the book industry now, publishing and shit. And I'm getting my shit. I know I've been talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. And I had an editor. Matter of fact, this is my third editor. And this is someone I've been knowing for about 18 years. And, you know, she writes articles, and I guess she was a magazine editor. And I put my book in her hand a few months ago. And she had a deadline for October. I think the first of October she's supposed to have my whole book edited. And, you know, me and her kind of fell out because I was pushing her. And, you know, it wasn't just she was my editor. Me and her had relations back in the days. So it was complicated by me mixing business with someone I used to talk to. And I should have known that when I put my book in her hand, but it was solely a business venture that we was doing. It wasn't a sexual venture. It wasn't boyfriend and girlfriend. But being that I messed with her back in the day, it caused complications, and we argued a lot. So I took my book back from her. Now my book is being edited the right way in a timely fashion. So I'm not going to give no dates no more because I keep bullshitting, and it seems like I'm lying to my viewers about my book. And I'm not going to give no dates. When I get the copies back, when they're pressed up, then I'll put my book on here, and you guys can buy my book, man. I'm glad I didn't take no pre-orders. Like 30 people tried to give me pre-orders. I almost took the pre-orders, but I'd have been owing you guys if I'd have took pre-orders. My homegirl, though, Insane, which I did an interview on her a few months back, her book's out, and it's called White Eve. We were supposed to go on a book tour together, me, her, and Big Cisco. Her book is finished, published, and for sale right now. It's called White Eve. I think it's on Amazon and a few more platforms. I wish I had a copy of it. She just came to California to see me. She lives in Oklahoma, but she has some other things. She had to go see her mom and stuff. So she will be coming down there, I think, in a month or two. So I'll get a copy of her book and I'll put it up for you guys so you guys can purchase it if you want to. But her book is tremendously good from what I've heard. But yeah, I've been concentrating on family now. And, you know, it took a lot from me. It took a lot of energy um, from me losing what I lost in this last business adventure I went through. And so I decided last month that I'm gonna get back into YouTube. I've been having so many comments and requests and text messages. When am I gonna make another video? And this is like my fourth or fifth one since I've been back. Yeah, Scotty J. If you give me your information, I'll send you a copy, bro. It's called The Man Behind the Woman, and it's my autobiography actually, not my whole life story. So my book's mainly about from 2005 until 2008. So it's a small window of my life I wrote about, and I started reading my book online when I first started this channel. I started reading my book on YouTube, but to do that would take the interest away from my viewers from purchasing my book. So I got a videographer, um, Rick, the director. He's my homeboy, and he does a lot of movies and videos. He shoots a lot of people's videos and movies for him. He just did Rick Ross's video, Rihanna's video, and he's doing Irv Gotti's movies for him right now for Netflix. And he wants to turn my book into a movie. And at first I was skeptical, but he made a lot of sense. So he already started writing the movie script. Actually, he's turning my book into a movie, and I have it on my phone actually. And the way you write a movie script is totally different than the way you write a book. And I don't even. Yeah, matter of fact, I will read it on here if I can find it real quick. I'll read what he wrote. And he wants to do a trailer. So what we're gonna do, this is what we decided to do with my book. So we're gonna shoot a movie trailer. It's gonna be I think he said a 7-minute movie trailer, 5-minute movie trailer. And what we're gonna do is after we shoot the movie trailer, we're gonna shop my book. We're gonna shop my book. No, we're gonna shop the movie and release the movie before the book. And you know, if you look back at all the people that wrote books, what's his name? Stephen King, all these different people that wrote books and they turned it into movies. If you ever seen a movie and then went back and read a book, the book about the movie, the book is way more detailed and more interesting than the movie was. So I don't want to make that mistake. What I want to do is I want to release the movie first and then release my book. That's what I want to do. I'll shoot the shipping and handling to you, dog, and send you my shipping info. I appreciate you, bro. Hey, Scotty, my phone number is going across the stream, bro. All you got to do is text message me your information, and I'll lock your number in. And after this video, I'll give you a call, bro, and we can discuss that. So go ahead and take my number down. It's 530-586-6807. And when you said your phone's about to die, so go ahead and take my number down and text message me your information. Actually, I can send you my book now. No, I won't. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to send you the rough edited version. I'm going to wait till it's complete. I changed my book covers around. I had these other people do. I had 3 different book covers, and I decided to go. I don't know if you guys see my book cover on my Facebook and my Instagram, but I'm going with a picture of me and her while we're in prison on the front of my book, and on the back of the book, I'm going to have her coming out of the bank with the money bag, because my book's mainly about 4 bank robberies that we did on Halloween, her dressed up as a witch, and the ramifications that we had to go through because of my bad decision on robbing these 4 banks. We did that in Washington. So my book's about that and how we led up to that. School Me. What's up, School Me? How you doing, homie? You know, I'm just chilling on this Friday night, man. Was bored, was thinking about going to my brother's house and then thinking about going to see my friend, and decided to stay home. Are you an X-rated? Cool. Yeah, that's my little homie. That's my heart, man. Me and X-rated go way back. I'm a lot older than him, not a lot older, but X-rated is a very bright, intelligent individual. If you ever heard him talk or some of his interviews, that dude is very intelligent, and he has knowledge about a lot of things, life in general. And I'm elated for him that he is signed with Strange Music. Him and Tech Nine are doing their thing, and they just dropped a single, "No One's Safe," and the video is impeccable. It's like way ahead of our time. this video and this song, if you listen to his song, No One's Safe, man, it's deep. And all his music is very deep. If you just cut out the beat and listen to his lyrics, he's a lyricist, man. And he's a very good writer. Just got back walking my dog. Just got back walking my dog. Oh shit. Who is that? Is that my brother? Let me see. Okay, Scotty, I got your okay, yeah, I got your phone number. I'm gonna lock you in, bro. I'm gonna lock you in right now, matter of fact. Scotty J. Let me see this real quick. Okay, I got you, Scotty J. So I want to make sure I had it right. Got your number now, 502 area code. Yeah, so like I was saying, man, X-Rated is a very smart individual, and he came home with a focus, very focused, and his mindset. He has an old soul. He always has, even when he was young. X-Rated has always had an old soul. And I remember, I think it was 1990. This is in the early 90s. I don't want to make a mistake and say the wrong year. I went to the Sacramento County Jail. The first time I seen X-Rated in jail, he was the worker, which means you stay out all day and his door stayed open on 4 West, which was the Crip side back then. The west side of our county jail was the Crip side. And I remember when I got to the county jail, I was on the run for a year and a half off of parole, and I caught a new case. So I really didn't want to be arrested. I really tried to get away. I had a high-speed chase on a motorcycle, and they caught me after a year and a half of running from them. So when I went to the county jail, I knew I caught a new case. So I thought I was looking at like 5 to 10 years. So when I got there, he came to my door and he rapped for me deuce 5 to life, 25 to life. These motherfuckers trying to give me deuce 5 to life. And I knew then he was ahead of his time, and he would sit at my door and do the beat on my door and rap that song to me. And of course, I was fortunate enough. My first court, I wasn't in there that long with him that time. I was in there for maybe a week. My first court date, my arraignment, they offered me a 3-year, 4-month deal, and I jumped on it, and I was gone on the next thing smoke. So I was only at the county jail for like maybe a week, maybe 2 at the most. And me and him talked, and he told me about his case and the whole shit. But he did ended up going to prison for a long amount of time, as you guys already know. Hey, James, you asked me that yesterday, homie, when I was on with Freddie Loco. I went to John Morrison, Edward Kimball, and Charles Mack. I went to all 3 of them elementary schools. You asked me that yesterday, bro. Can I get X-Rated on here? You asked me that before too. So I did run my show by X-Rated and asked him to come on here. I asked him back in July. I asked him, and he wasn't signed with Strange Music then, and he was very busy then. You know, X-Rated lives in Las Vegas, him and his wife Bonnie, and he was very busy then. So I don't want to. I'm gonna let X-Rated come to me, man. And he knows I want him on my show. I'm gonna let him come to me when he has time, because I don't like bugging people. I'll ask him one time, and if they tell me yeah and it don't happen, I'll wait for them. But yeah, I got a lot of questions. First deal is usually the best deal. First deal is usually the best deal. As far as what, school me, the first deal is always the best deal. I don't agree with that is a general statement. In some genres, the best deal, the first deal is the best deal, but you can always negotiate a deal, bro. If you're talking about the music industry, first deal is not always the best deal. Trust me. You know, as a producer, I never was a artist, but as a producer and promoter, you know, back in the '90s when I used to be in the music industry, we used to try to make as much as we can and give the artists as less as possible. So artists now, they make more money than ever in the music industry. Back when you're lucky to make 80 cents off a CD, a dollar. The artist was lucky to make a dollar. We'd make what, 14.99? That's what the producer would make and give the artist a dollar. Maybe if you're lucky, if very lucky, you would make $2 a CD. And I didn't see that too much at all. I know Sibo, I think my brother was giving Sibo $1 a CD at the time, bro. Back when he first started in '92, I believe off Gas Chamber and maybe Tales of the Crypt and Autopsy. I think he was, I might be mistaken, but I believe he was making $1 a CD, man. Maybe $1.50. But I don't believe the first deal is always the best deal. I don't believe that at all. In no kind of negotiation. I'm talking about in court. Oh, in court, shit. That could go both ways. That deal was the best deal I could have got. But I'm on my last case. So my last case, it started out as a home invasion attempted murder case. And I beat that case within 4 months. I had two co-defendants, a female and a male. And how we beat the case is because we didn't do the crime. But the guy that got caught with me, he had a gun, and he was a blood, by the way. And what happened was me, the female, and him was going to court for this home invasion attempted robbery case. And I want to say that we kind of made him take his own gun case because he got caught with a pistol and it was registered in his grandfather's name, which had the same last name as us, but they was trying to get us all three on this gun case. And so I went in the blood tank. I know a lot of people probably, you went in the blood tank. I went in the blood tank when we was going to court. They separated us. They put Crips in 3 and 5 and Bloods in 4 and 6. So I snuck in the blood tank. And I knew he was going to the blood tank. So I showed the Bloods the paperwork where he was telling on me from when we first got arrested. And I told him, I don't want them to do nothing to him, but I want him to take his gun case because they'll dismiss the robbery and the attempted murder on me and the female. And that's what happened. But his ass went after we made him take the gun case. He got a 3-year sentence, man, with halftime. They dismissed the charges on me and the girl in prelim because he took the gun case. He went back to the RCCC, which is not our county jail. It's out in Elk Grove. And he called the cops from there, the FBI. He called the FBI and told him about my real estate fraud thing I was doing. That's how I caught my real estate fraud case. This motherfucker went back after he took his 3-year deal. He was mad at me because I told the Bloods he was telling on me, and went and called the cops from the county jail and told them about my real estate fraud shit. That's how I ended up with that case. And my first deal was 21 years, 8 months. So I wasn't going to take that. It was real estate fraud. It was check fraud, real estate fraud, bank fraud, mail fraud. So after going to court for about 6 months, the feds, their guidelines, they could only give me 4 years. They knew I had a strike in the state, so they dismissed the case. The FBI, the feds dismissed the case, and I thought I was going home. The state picked it up immediately, went and ad booked me, and they offered me 21 years, my first deal. And, the deal kept going. I stayed in the county jail 25 months fighting my case, and the deal kept going down from 21 years to 16 years to 12 years to 10 years. So as it went down, the longer I stayed there, I thought, well, shit, it keeps going down. They must not have as much as they say. So I ultimately took them to trial and got banged on all 13 counts, got convicted of 13 counts of real estate fraud, bank fraud, mail fraud, the whole shit. So the maximum sentence they could give me was 15 years, 8 months. They was trying to con me into taking 21 years, and the crime didn't even hold that much time. And the only reason why I held 15 years is because I had a strike and they doubled up my sentence and gave me a 3 1-year prison priors. So I think my maximum sentence without all that was 6 years, and they doubled it up to 12 and then gave me 3 1-year prison priors, which ended up 15 years, 8 months. And that's what they hit me with, man, for real estate fraud. I did way more worse shit than that and got way less time. So I was sick. I went to Edward Kimball with Big Scoob, Maniac, and Killer Ray. So I didn't go to Edward Kimball with Maniac or Big Scoob. I went to Edward Kimball, I think I was in the 2nd grade. So I went to John Morse from kindergarten, 1st grade. I think 2nd grade, I got kicked out of John Morse, or my mom transferred me to Edward Kimball because the bus, something to do with the bus. Edward Kimball was way closer to my house, my mom's house, than John Morse. But the bus somehow I ended up at Edward Kimball for maybe 3 months. And I think I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade. Then my mom didn't like Edward Kimball, so I used my grandmother's address. And at the time, Valley High was like considered the suburbs. So I went to Charles Mack in the 3rd grade, got kicked out of there, and I ended up back at John Morse in the 4th grade, and I graduated from the 6th grade there. So I only went to Edward Kimball for like 3 months, I believe. But I went to, how old are you, James? Are you my age, homie? I'm 53. Killer Ray. Scoob, man, rest in peace, Big Scoob, man. That was my ace boom coon, man. Me and Scoob started out in Vacaville in 89 before I went to Tracy. But that was my road dog back in the days, man. Me, Big Scoob, Big Snake, Tie Stick, Lil Snake, Dinky. We all ran together because we're all Freddie T, Pookie, Kool-Aid. We all ran. Our neighborhood, we're from 29th Street, but where our moms lived was off of 24th Street at the end by the park. So we all grew up around there. Ernie Cadena, rest in peace, Ernie Cadena. So you're my age, James. Did you ever go to Freeport? We used to play football against Freeport and Bidwell and Hopkins, Mark Hopkins. I turned 53 in September. I'll be 54 in February, bro. I'm a little bit older than you, just a little bit. A few months older than you, actually. Let me see here. Damn, I already been out. Emiliano, what's up, nephew? I see you, man. You ain't with my son. I don't want to say his name out here. You ain't with him? I think he went to Marysville to go get my grandbaby his haircut. I see you on there though, bro. James, 53. Did you go to Burbank, homie? What did you probably went to Gady, huh? If you went to Edward Kimball, you probably went to Gady. I went to John Steele. Let me see something. You grew up with all them knackers. Yeah, I know you have. I can tell by the way you talk, homie. You at home, nephew? With your girl lounging by the fireplace, eating s'mores. Big Gritter 210. So Freddie T's like a brother to me, man. We grew up since. So Freddie T grew up in he grew up in Sacramento, but he moved from Vallejo to Sacramento down the street from my mom. I was in the 5th grade, I think, when Freddie T moved. So I think we was around 10 or 11 when Freddie T, his mom Barbara and Bobby moved to Sacramento, and me and him was like this from the time he moved here. So when Freddie moved here, he moved next door to Tony the Tiger Lopez, the boxer. And Freddie had 2 older brothers, Bazzy and Bobby G. And Bazzy got murdered in Danger Island when we was very young. Well, Bobby Gray, he was older. He used to make Freddie box me every day after school. We'd go to Freddie's front yard, and we had boxed. Tony Lopez would coach me, and his brother Bobby has coached him. So we grew up boxing from a very young age. So yeah, Freddie T did grow. He ain't from Sacramento. He's from Vallejo. He's from the Crest. But and his dad and we went and seen his dad and his grandpa before they passed in the Crest. We was always in the Crest because that's where that's where his family was from. Emiliano, run it up. Hit that like button. If you ain't already hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Run it up. You went to Gotti. That ain't how you spell Gady James Smith. You know you don't spell Gady like that, man. Yeah, I went to Burbank. So my story is this, man. I went to Burbank my freshman year for not even a semester. My younger brother went to Burbank and graduated from Burbank. But I went to Burbank in summer school my freshman year, and I got in a fight with a Vietnamese, and he tried to stab me with a pencil, and I stabbed him with a little buck knife, and I got kicked out of Burbank. When I got kicked out of Burbank, they sent me to Leland Stanford, which is called Lincoln, I think. From Leland Stanford, I went to me and Freddie, actually, me, Freddie, Doug Morris, Leon Morris, Tasha Davis. We all went to Leland Stanford. When they let me out of Leland Stanford, I used my grandma's address and went to McClatchy. And McClatchy was hell for me. That's Oak Park. A lot of Oak Park cats. Back then, we was gangbanging a lot. And McClatchy was a blood school, so that's where I went. I hope he's set from that AWOL money. They were selling units back in the day. Hey, Big Ritter. Negative, homie. I just talked to Freddie's wife just right before I got on YouTube. And AWOL, I don't want to get into the politics about AWOL, but Freddie's not making a dime off of AWOL no more. I'm just going to leave it at that. Someone else is getting all the money from AWOL right now, and it's one of his old artists. He did put a lot of time, his soul, into AWOL records, and it landed in someone else's lap. And I know all the details about it, but I don't want to talk about his business ventures because it's a sore subject for him, me, and everyone that's involved with AWOL Records. But yeah, he was getting a digital check every month up until like maybe 8 years, no, maybe longer than maybe 10 years ago. It was a court date set, and he was in prison. AWOL Records wasn't in either of our names; it was in his mother's name. And when she passed, no one could go to court, so it ended up in an artist's name, and he's getting all the funds from all his old albums, man. So yeah, he's not making money off AWOL Records. Although, I talked to Freddie a couple years ago. We don't really talk no more. It's a personal thing. I still love him. He still loves me, but we went our separate ways. However, I believe he's suing Sony Records right now because of what you just asked me. So he should be getting paid. I was in the cell next door to Freddie T in Mill Creek back in '97. Mill Creek back in '97. Yeah, he was in Mill Creek in '97. I remember that. I was in Folsom back then. He was in Mill Creek in '97. Yeah, Freddie, man, he's out here. Matter of fact, his wife just told me he got off of parole today or yesterday. He just got off of parole, and that's a good thing, man. I hope he stays blessed and stays. If Freddie, that at any second he could just flash, and no telling. You never know with Freddie what's going to happen being around Freddie. So I hope he stays out. He has a baby girl, and I'm hoping he's taking care of his baby girl, man, and living his life, man. We're in our 50s now, and I got tired of the stuff that comes along with the record industry and the gangbanging stuff. So I really don't put myself in a position to be around my old friends like that no more. I'm kind of like introvert now. I stay at home around my kids. I got grandkids now. I'm not in the streets no more at all. So I left that all behind me, man. And that's why I've been out. This is the longest I ever been out of jail in my life. So March, either 18th or 28th, it'll make 5 years that I've been out. And I've never been out more than 2 years since I was 15 years old. Can you imagine that? I've been out 5 years coming this March, man. That's crazy. My mom, like, you've been out of jail a long time. I'm like, yep, I've been out a long time. I plan on staying out too. Although, I can't say I stayed out of jail for all that time. I had 2 run-ins with the law. I went to jail. I'm going to tell you guys this story, and I think I might have mentioned this story. So, like I told you guys earlier, I went to prison in Washington. When I got out of Washington State, out of their prison, they don't put you on parole. They put you on community custody. They put me on 9 months community custody. I got a wife and a son back in Sacramento. So there's no way when I got out, please stay out, spread good knowledge. Good looking big critter, 210. But look, back to my story. So when I got out of Washington prison, they gave me 9 years community custody. I got a homeboy from 24th Street that lives up there, D-Bear. That's why I went up there in the first place. And that's the only person I knew in Washington besides the girl I got arrested with. So what happened was they gave me 9 months community custody, and I took off. I came back to Sacramento. When I came back to Sacramento, I was on the run, and I caught my case, my 15-year, 8-month case, my real estate fraud case. So why, after I get convicted in Sacramento, I'm in Corcoran State Prison in 2010. And they called me at 5 in the morning and tell me to roll my stuff up. Washington State's there to pick me up. I'm like, Washington State? So, of course, I go back to Washington, go in front of their judge. They're asking me why I didn't do my 9 months community custody. My attorney's telling him, you know, he got 15 years in California. So they dismissed my community custody in 2010 while I'm doing 15 years in California, right? So 2018 comes and they parole me from prison in California. No holds, no warrants, no nothing. They parole me. So I do my year and whatever on parole. I get off of parole in California. I'm off 8 months. I'm driving down Amherst one night going to see my wife. I'm on my way from my mom's house to my wife's house. I get pulled over. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I give my cop my ID, my insurance, the whole shit out my sunroof, and I'm sitting there playing my game on my phone for like 15 minutes. I look up, and there's 7 or 8 cop cars behind me, and a helicopter is above me, and my sunroof's open. He's flashing the light through my sunroof. He like, put your hands where I can see them. To make a long story short, these motherfuckers in Washington knew I was free, and they put a warrant out for my arrest saying I owe them 6 months or 7 months on community custody. So this is Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving 2020. They fly me back to Washington, keep me there through Thanksgiving, take me in front of a 4-man panel, and tell me I owe them 7 months of community custody. I'm off of everything in California. I'm cussing them out. I'm in there on Thanksgiving, sick as hell, cold as hell in Washington, snowing and shit. They let me out and told me I have 7 months to do, and I had to do it in Washington. So I get out of jail. I think I had $1,600 on me. I call home. I go get a hotel room. I call home and I tell my wife that you know, they're making me stay out there. So she calls the parole board out here, all kind of people, the jail, and finds out that I could have it's called an interstate compact. I could have my parole from out there transferred to here, but I'd be on parole in California, and I knew it's hard to get off parole in California, but I did it anyway. So after being out of jail in California, out of prison, off of parole, they put me back on, and I did 7 months parole in California again for Washington. That was over with a year and something ago, right? So last month, I go to Gulf late night, 11, 12 o'clock at night. And when I get to go, I have a few drinks, and I get pulled over, and they arrest me for a DUI. So they took me from Gold. I guess Gold is part of Sacramento County, so they took me to Sacramento County Jail, and I was in a robe. I was in a friggin' robe. I wasn't in no pants, no nothing. Some flip flops and a robe. Take me to Sacramento County Jail. I refused the breathalyzer and I refused the blood sample. So it took them 5 hours to get a warrant. So at 5 in the morning, they come in the cell and they say they have a warrant to take blood from me. By then, I'm thinking, shit, it's gonna come back, negative. Took the blood from me. I haven't heard nothing from it except I'm getting all these things in the mail by these lawyers. DUI lawyers, these interlock things I gotta blow in. I'm not doing none of that shit. So we're gonna find out. I got a court date December 20th for a DUI. So I haven't really stayed all the way out, and I don't even drink no more, man. I stopped drinking 3 years ago, and I started drinking last month a couple times, but I don't drink no more at all no more after that. Emiliano, what you doing tonight? You staying at home, nephew? My nephew's on here, man. I love that boy. He be coming to fuck with me sometimes. Run it up. Hit that like button. If you guys already haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, man. Let me see if my super chat's on here. My private chat. No private chats. I don't even, do you guys know what private chat is? I don't know what that is, man. I press it, no one's on there, so I guess I don't even know if I have private chat. Yeah, I'm staying out, Big Gritter. Definitely staying out. I got grandkids now, man. I got 3 grandkids right now. 2 boys and a girl. I'm trying to stay out for them and my kids right now, man. Not trying to see the inside of no prison cells. Never heard of it. Hey, so you guys see my new background? This is my trophy. I scored, I think, 365 on this. Look, I got a shot. We got a hell of a shot. Hardly no misses. I got a miss here, miss there, but headshots in the X, heart shots. Hey, Emiliano, when we going to the range, man? Daniel Gonzalez. Salutes, G. Damn, James, you got 6 grandkids? Boy, you stay broke, huh? 6 grandkids. How many kids you got, bro? Don't tell me you just got 1 or 2 kids with 6 grandkids. I got 4 kids and only 3 of them have kids right now. I love grandkids, man. It's like it gives me a retry because I wasn't the best father raising my children. So it's like I get a second chance with my grandkids. And it's man, it's lovely having grandkids. I was really close to my second grandkid. A lot of homes didn't make it to be a grandfather. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. James, you just said you had 6 grandkids, and I asked you how many kids. You said a lot of homes didn't make it to be a grandfather. If you got 6 grandkids, you're a grandfather. Well, I don't understand that. You got 6 baby mamas. Damn. Well, I got 3, so I'm halfway. I don't want no more baby mamas. I was married to one of mine twice, my youngest son's mom. And I got enough kids. I got 4 kids right now, and that's enough. I don't want to have kids after my kids have kids. You know what I mean? My mom my mom and my grandmother. My aunt is 1 year older than me. So my grandmother still had a kid, and my mom had one right after my grandmother. So I don't want to be having kids after my kids have kids. You know what I mean? That means their uncle will be younger than them. I don't want that. That ain't how life's supposed to be. You don't supposed to have kids after your kids have kids, man. That's just backwards to me. I'm done having kids. My kids are grown. I got twins that are 27, a boy and a girl. I got a 23-year-old daughter, and then my son, my youngest son, will be 23 next on Thanksgiving. So I got 4. Oh, a lot of homies didn't make it to. Hey, man, you ain't lying. We're fortunate enough to make it to see our grandkids, man, because, Ernie didn't make it to see no grandkids. Scoob didn't make it. A lot of homies didn't make it to see grandkids. We even got homies that didn't even make it to have kids, homie. Do you know that? I know 2 homies that didn't even have kids when they passed, man. That's crazy. I didn't think, to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to see 30 years old. I knew I wasn't going to see 30. And when 30 hit, I thought, man, I was this shit. And then when 40 hit, I was like, man, I'm supposed to be here. At the moment I saw my right big toe and practiced my eagle claw doing flips like pigeons, shadow boxing, my shadow on the ceiling, my right wing was slowly vibrating. What the hell? Dion Knum. I don't get what you say. Hey, as you guys know, yesterday when I was doing my live with Freddie Loco, I got some calls that came in yesterday. And I had some weird ass people calling me, man, saying some weird ass shit. And I think it was one dude that pretended like he was 3 different people, man. And this might be you, Dion, because you just said some weird shit on here. At the moment, I saw my right big toe and practiced my eagle claw doing flips like pigeons, shadow boxing, my shadow on the ceiling, my right wing was slowly vibrating. I don't get it, homie. What? I mean, what are you? Let me have. You taking shrooms? That sounds like you high as hell off shrooms or something, some acid or some sherm or something. I think that's my cue that I'm gonna call it a night and get off of here. I'm supposed to be someplace. What time is it? Oh, it's on. Man, it seems so late right now. It's only 7:40. It's getting dark sooner now, and it seems like it's 10 o'clock at night, and it ain't even 8 o'clock. All right, Emiliano, I'll catch you next Friday, man. We supposed to be going to the thing for old boys' C-Day party. I'll see you then. James, stay up, homie. Daniel Gonzalez, good looking. For all my viewers, good looking, man. Please, if you guys ain't subscribed to my channel, I only got 32% of my viewers are subscribed to my channel, man. If I had 100% of my viewers subscribed to my channel, I'd be pushing probably 5,000 subscribers right now. I'm trying to get to 5,000 by the January, man. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. James, you ain't lying, homie. That's some weirdo shit. Hey, so when I be doing my lives, I don't even make videos and go back and edit them. All my videos on here are lives. Stay prayed up, James. Stay blessed. Tell the people you love them. Hey, but what was I just lost my train of thought. If you guys seen, I don't put all the comments up, but if you guys seen some of these comments, I'm gonna start putting these weird. I got weird ass comments on here, and I know they're trollers, and I ain't tripping because without trollers and haters, I wouldn't have a channel, man. What I ain't gonna do, and I thought about this a long time. So if you guys know, or if you guys don't know, I did an interview with Chad Marks on Blood on the Razor Wire TV. He interviewed me on there. I got 13,000 views on Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Go check it out. Go check out Blood on the Razor Wire TV and check out my interview on there. But he wanted to do an interview on my channel, which I'll probably have him on here. But there's 4 YouTube channels now that's been tapping in with me. And the one that I'm reluctant on all of them, but there's one cat, I'm going to go ahead and say his channel, A Prisoner's Awakening, APA. L. I want to do an interview on L's channel, and I want him to come on my channel. He's an ex Southside, but check it out. The reason why I want to do a interview on his channel is because me and him was at Pleasant Valley together when I took off. When I had my my homies take off on over 100-something bulldogs. We kicked a ride off there, and L on a Prisoner's Awakening, he was there when this happened. Bulldogs ran that yard, and I knew I wasn't going to be there long. I was there 6 months, and I didn't make them, but you know, I was the reason why we took off on the bulldogs there, and only one of ours got hurt, and all the blacks came with us. They followed suit, but I didn't tell everyone before I did it, so you know they was mad at me and shit. Of course, someone told on me and got me kicked out that prison the same night as the riot. It happened in the morning time. That night, Goon Squad came and got me, took me to the hole. They didn't even take me to the hole, sent me to fucking high desert that same night. But L was there from A Prisoner's Awakening when I did that. And he told me after I left, the Serendos took off on the Bulldogs. So I want him on my channel so we could talk about that, man. It was a hell of a, you know, riots aren't fun when they're happening, but when you look back on them, and if you're at the winning, if you win, you know, nobody wins a riot, but I'm gonna tell you guys this: that riot, only one of ours, his name was Tino from Stockton, Northside Stockton. He's the only one within the black car that got hurt, and he got hurt bad. He got his face kicked in. He was fucked up. But I think 2 bulldogs might have got stabbed, but we dusted them, man. And they didn't know what we was gonna do. It was very planned out for 3 days. I planned that shit out for 3 days, and we waited for the weekend to do it because on the weekends, bulldogs was like at least 300 thick on that yard, and they ran that yard. There was more bulldogs in that yard than anything. You know, bulldogs can't go to every prison. So I waited till the weekend because I knew all of them couldn't come out because you needed a work car to come out on the weekends. So it was probably 150 of them, and only 12 of us took off on them. But as we took off, all the blacks seen it, and they came and followed suit, except the IE car didn't come. The Bakersfield, Fresno car, they didn't come. But the Bloods, the Coombs, the Jamas, the Crips, everyone came. Everyone in a black faction came except the IE car, and we tore their ass up. We tore them up. And I want L on here so he could tell you guys the story more, because he was on the outside watching it. I was actually in the riot, but he could tell you guys more detail. He told me what his point of view was on it. That's where I found you in Chad's channel. Oh, okay. Hey, school me. Yeah, Chad's a good cat, man. He's doing a lot of good things. And my sister actually just came back from DC. She just got back, I think, yesterday or the day before she went up there to see her friend. And I wish she would have told me way before she left, because I might have went down there with her so I could go fuck with Chad, man. I take that back. Not Chad. Chad's in fucking Rochester, New York. My homie E. E, are you on here, man? I ain't seen you make no comments. My homie E is from DC. That's why I wanted to go see. My bad. I made a mistake right there. I got a friend I met on YouTube named E from DC, and me and him are really close, man. We be mentoring each other. But yeah, so I've been on here an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and log off of this. Please, you guys, I don't want to sound like I'm desperate or nothing, but if you guys already haven't hit that like button, hit that like button, and definitely hit that subscribe button, man. I could use the subscriptions and share these videos. I'll check y'all out Sunday or Monday. I'll be coming on here with another live. Stay blessed, stay prayed up, and tell the people you love them. We don't know if we're going to wake up tomorrow. Tell them tonight. Make sure you tell the people you love them, man. It's very important. I lost some people in my family that are close to me, and I didn't tell them I loved them, and they passed on me. So tell the people you love them, man. So who is your next guest from Garden Block? I haven't got no one lined up. G-Man ain't called. You know, G-Man's using the wall phone. Teardrop Teardrop been renting his damn phone out every night. That's why Teardrop ain't been on here. He tapped in 3 days ago. He like, dog, I just got my phone back. I'll be renting it out. So whenever he don't rent it out, I'll have him on here. But I don't know his schedule. But I do want Teardrop and Big G Man on here. And we'll work on X-Rated, man. I know X-Rated is I think X-Rated is on tour right now with Tech 9. So I don't think X-Rated is going to be available. And then it's the holidays. You got to think about the holidays, man. You guys want Garden Block cats on here, huh? That's what James keeps asking for. I could tap into, I don't want to say their names, but I don't want to open the door. I just don't want to open the door for that right now. And I have my reasons for that. I haven't even talked to Big Cisco in over 2 months since I stopped doing YouTube. I think he's mad at me for some reason. He might be mad at me because I stopped my YouTube channel. He was getting into my YouTube channel. He was my co-host 3 or 4 times. 22 years old son was found stiff with a bag of fit next. Oh man. Hey, school me. I grew up with this northerner dude, man. I'm not gonna say his name, but earlier this year, he had a 22-year-old son, man, that died of a fentanyl overdose, man. And it's sad. Fentanyl is like the crack was to us in the 80s. Everyone's lacing. Man, it's crazy, man. Fentanyl is like the #1 killer out here right now, I think. I know 2 people's kids that I know overdosed off fentanyl, man. That's why I'm glad my kids don't mess with drugs, man. I do not want to be getting no call at night about no overdoses and none of my kids being hurt like that. Because I'll go back to prison. I know I'll go back to prison, something like that happened. So stay safe, you guys. Stay blessed. Tell the people you love them. God bless. And I'll see you guys probably Sunday or Monday. I'm out.